Hello everybody, welcome back to ASMR Storyscape. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the construction of the Egyptian pyramids and just explaining different aspects of how they were created, why they were created, and just an overall overview, I guess, of the topic of the pyramids. So, let's get started. The Great Pyramids of Giza are some of the most magnificent and mysterious structures ever built. For over 4,500 years, they have towered over the desert of the outskirts of Cairo. The pyramids were built as tombs for the pharaohs and their queens during the Old Kingdom period of ancient Egypt. The Great Pyramid of Khufu, that's Khufu, Khufu, probably pronouncing that wrong, is the oldest and largest of the three major pyramids at Giza. Khufu reigned from around 2551 to 2528 BCE. His pyramid complex consisted of the main pyramid, three smaller pyramids for his wives, an adjoining mortuary temple, and a long causeway leading to a valley temple near the Nile. The planning and construction of the pyramids reveal the technological sophistication, resource management, and social organization of ancient Egypt. While there are still many unanswered questions about how the pyramids were built, archaeological evidence and historical records provide insights into the complex processes involved. So, the first topic we're going to talk about is site selection. The pyramids were strategically located on the Giza Plateau, a limestone bedrock cliff on the edge of the Sahara Desert, overlooking the ancient Egyptian capital of Memphis and the Nile River Valley. The pyramids were positioned precisely according to astronomical alignments. Khufu's pyramid complex has almost perfect cardinal directionality, with the sides aligned roughly north, south, east, west. This reflects the importance of astronomy and celestial phenomena to the ancient Egyptians. The east-west axis aligns with the rising and setting sun during the spring and fall equinoxes. Now, leveling the foundation. So, the uneven Giza bedrock had to be first leveled and prepared to create a stable, flat foundation for constructing the enormous pyramids. Archaeologists have found post holes which indicate that surveyors divided the building site using ropes to align the pyramid's cardinal points. These rope grids helped them outline the base dimensions and orientation of the pyramid with very high precision. Excavation and leveling involved removing poor or unstable rock and then backfilling depressions with blocks and limestone chips. Now let's talk about the materials and transportation of the rocks. Constructing the pyramids required a massive mobilization of resources. Estimates range from 2 to 20,000 workers. Limestone, granite ramp systems. There are several theories about how the huge blocks were lifted up the sides of the pyramids during construction. Archaeological evidence suggests ramp systems were built using mud bricks and clay. A ramp would start at one corner and wind around the pyramid as it grew taller. One proposal suggests there were two ramps, a long straight one on one side for dragging blocks up, and a corkscrew ramp that wrapped around the structure on the other side for access. Ox-drawn sleds were used to drag the blocks up the ramps. Water lubricated the path to reduce friction when sliding heavy blocks into place. Construction techniques. The core of the pyramids consisted of locally quarried limestone blocks weighing about 2 to 3 tons each. These blocks were cut precisely to fit together without mortar, though the gaps between them were originally filled with limestone chips and mortar once the outer case was applied. The pyramid's internal chambers and passages were built as the pyramid rose in height. These interior structures were built at the same time as the outer blocks, requiring extremely complex coordination between teams. Core-belled vaults were created through a technique stacking blocks closer and closer together toward the top of a passageway or the roof. The outer casing was made of smooth white limestone pieces weighing up to 15 tons each. These casing stones were precisely cut and arranged in a sloping pattern to create the smooth sides of the finished pyramid. The triangular shape ensured maximum strength and stability. The white limestone was highly reflective, so that the dazzling pyramid would glint in the bright Egyptian sun. At their tallest, the pyramids reach around 480 feet high, almost the length of 1.5 football fields. Workforce and management. The pyramid building project required a well-organized bureaucracy to manage supplies, workers, and construction processes. Some estimates suggest 20,000 or more workers were involved in constructing a single pyramid. This workforce consisted of both highly skilled permanent workers as well as temporary unskilled laborers. There were stone quarrymen, masons, brick makers, boat crews, road builders, surveyors, and others. Overseers supervised different teams of workers. Hieroglyphs and ancient papyri reveal details about worker payments of grain, beer, and meat rations. A sizable temporary workforce would flood into the pyramid sites during months when agricultural tasks were few. These farmers, laborers, and slaves provided brute muscle power under the direction of skilled teams. The work was likely organized into a hierarchy of teams with specific responsibilities. For example, there may have been teams of surveyors, haulers, builders, and for each of the major pyramid elements, and specialized teams for relieving chambers, archaeologists have found little direct evidence of the tools used. The rate at which blocks could be placed also remains uncertain. Estimates for Khufu's Great Pyramid construction range between 10 and 20 years total. Here is a rough timeline of how the construction of a pyramid may go. So firstly, site surveying and planning would take between 1 and 2 years. Leveling and preparing of the foundation would also take between 1 and 2 years. The quarrying and stockpiling of stones is ongoing continuously. Constructing access roads and harbours takes between 1 and 2 years. Building the core structure with rough blocks takes 10 to 15 years. Placing and finishing casing stones takes between 3 and 5 years. Finishing interior chambers and passageways takes 3 to 5 years. And lastly, demobilizing and clearing the site takes 1 to 2 years. So the longest aspect of pyramid construction, theoretically, is building the core structure with rough blocks. While the basic purposes of the pyramids are clear, as monumental tombs and symbolic eternal resting places for divine kings, many details about their construction remain shrouded in mystery. The pyramids preserve tantalizingly little information about the workers themselves, their daily lives, technical knowledge, and socio-economic status. Continuing archaeological study and experimental modelling shed more light on the ancient engineering accomplishments, but many questions endure, keeping the pyramids an eternal source of human wonder and imagination. The pyramids of Giza offer a sweeping view of the sophistication, complex organization, and engineering capabilities of one of history's greatest civilizations. Their construction represented an unprecedented feat of prehistoric engineering. The enduring pyramids provide a dazzling window into the power, skill, and resource management of ancient Egypt's Old Kingdom. When pharaohs ruled as gods on earth and guaranteed their passage into the afterlife through magnificent tombs pointed skyward to eternity. So everyone, that's all that I have for you today. I know we talked about a lot, but I hope that you got something out of it. It's one of the most